So here you can see everything that you're going to need to make this exact style of shoe. You're going to need the band on the top of the shoe. It has to be very stretchy. And then you have to have the main fabric of the shoe. This is wool, very little stretch, only a little bit like this direction, not a lot this direction. And then you're going to need some soft shell fabric. That's what I'm going to use. This is going to be under the foot and on top of the foot. So if you're going to need a little bit more reinforcement, you're going to have to get something a little bit more durable. Here you can see a shoe that my dog has been using for the past 2 winters. And there has been a tiny hole now after 2 seasons of wearing these guys. So I think it's quite durable with the soft shell, but if you want something even more durable, you're going to need maybe leather, for instance. And with this old one, you can see there is no reflective material. So for this style, I'm going to add 2 straps or 2 lines like this of reflective material, so he's even more visible in the dark. And you're going to need a whole bunch of these guys to strap the shoes on. So you're going to have at least 2, one down here and one up here. And you can see that they are Velcro tied together, and I've just made them super slim. So I'm going to show you how to make one of them, and then you can make all 4 for yourself. And to get the sizes of this, you will have to get the pattern from my Etsy shop, which will teach you how to create the perfect size for your dog. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the reflective bands. But look at this here now. So I have the soft shell fleece here lined up with the actual fabric. This is the outside, the right side, and this is the wrong side. So we're going to attach these strips in the center like this. And you can see that this is longer than this because we want this soft shell to kind of hide the edge of the reflective bands. So try not to cut it on the same line, have it just a little bit longer so it kind of hides under. And when you place this down, you're going to sew a straight line close to the edge all the way down on both sides. Turn it over, do the same here. Make sure to sew it on the single strip, so you don't sew these 2 together, but open it like that and sew these on either side, and you can do that to all 4. So after you've done this, we're going to go ahead and zigzag stitch the top of the soft shell and the bottom on both sides, the short edges, but also zigzag stitch the top of and the bottom of the main fabric. So after doing the zigzag stitch on top, this doesn't have to be so pretty because it's going to be covered by this later. Go ahead and fold this in half. Have your soft shell folded in half, wrong sides in. Okay, so this is the right side out. And you're going to just place this main fabric in between the soft shell. So after pinning it down, you're going to go ahead and start a straight stitch going down. When you come down here, you're going to hold the needle down on your machine, turn the fabric, sew along this edge, turn it, sew along all the way up, and then back to where you started. So after you've sewn the soft shell on, you're going to go ahead and fold it right side to right side. And then you're just going to sew after you've lined this up. Go ahead and pin it down and just sew one side. A straight stitch from here all the way down to here. After you've sewn this line, you're going to go ahead and cut it as close to your stitch as possible. And you're also going to go ahead and cut a diagonal line here. The next thing we're going to do, with one side still being open, we're going to go ahead and move over to the Velcro. So this is the soft side, this is the sticky side, and you're going to turn this over, and you are going to attach only a small square of this to each other like that. And you're gonna go ahead and sew this down, making a little square. And then, so it looks like this. This is an old shoe, and you can see that I've sewn it down here. And then we're gonna go ahead and test how high this Velcro needs to be. And for that, you're gonna need your dog to try this on. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to measure. We need to figure out where to put the Velcro straps. So for the front paw, you're gonna measure one front paw and one back paw. And you're gonna have one strap above his pad here and one strap above this pad right there. And for the back paw, it's gonna be the same, one above the pad on the bottom, but I do also recommend having one above this joint. So one here and one here. So what you're gonna do, hopefully your dog is gonna cooperate with you. You're gonna place the shoe on the paw and just close it. And always when you put a shoe on a dog, you're not gonna pull it all the way up until the nail hits the shoe, because that's gonna be very uncomfortable for them. You always have to place the paw down, force it down onto the floor, and then you're gonna adjust and put the straps on. So you're gonna have to do that, push the paw down, feel if there are any nails, adjust it until it's properly on, and then you can go ahead and mark where the pad is. Luigi, wait. So now his bottom pad is right here, so I'm gonna mark just a tiny white strip there for the first strap, and I'm gonna feel that's the second pad, so I'm gonna draw another line there. And you're gonna do that for the back paw as well, and then the other front paw, you can just use the same measurements as this one. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll continue. So now that you have your two lines, and I haven't sewn this down yet, but after you've sewn this down, you're gonna take the fuzzy part and you're gonna place it on your white line that you've made, and you're gonna sew this down. Not sew this part, only the fuzzy part is gonna be sewn down. And the side that you sew this on, that's gonna be the back side of the shoe. Before sewing this down, make sure you leave enough room on this side for when you are gonna sew these guys together, okay? So make sure that there's a little bit of space like that left. So now that we have these guys sewn down, we're gonna go ahead and sew on the cuff. And this is made from ribbing fabric. And when I place this on, you can see that it's much shorter, but when I stretch it, it should be the same length as this part. So you're gonna have the right size up, you're gonna fold this, and you're gonna place it on one edge. You're gonna sew it down just a little bit here. Keep a finger on it. As you sew, you're gonna stretch the ribbing all the way across. So now I've sewn down a little bit here. So that way I can start stretching. So I have to have a finger on this part here to pull it through, but I'm also stretching this at the same time, and I'm pushing as I sew. So keep pulling the fabric on this side, but also on the back side. Go ahead and close the stitch, and then you can see that when I pull it out, it's gonna be all curly, which is what we want. Now there's only one step left. You're gonna fold it right sides together again, and you're gonna stitch the final side here, making sure that you have these guys folded in so you sew on this fabric part. So after sewing the second line, go ahead and cut away all of the excess fabric, and then you can turn your shoe inside out, which is probably going to be a little bit difficult since the top is so tight. Just go slow And that is your first shoe done, and you just have to finish 3 more and your dog has beautiful new winter shoes to wear.